Very good job out there in the field.
All right, well, now it's time to move on to the chat room. And our first question in the chat room was, like we said earlier, Thomas Caberlet. I mean, he's been struggling, he hasn't been great, and some people are calling for his head. So we wanted to know what you guys thought, and we asked, is it time for Caberlet to sit? And we got an answer from our good old friend Peter there, and he said, yeah, he hasn't proven himself to be helpful to the team. So, I mean, I suppose you can't argue with Peter.
No.
He hasn't been helpful to the team, but here's where I'm at with it. I don't like what Caberlet's done for the team. I don't think he's done anything really at all. He hasn't brought much. They brought him here to make their power play better, and as we all know, they have 4 power play goals in 56 attempts, which is terrible. Their power play isn't any better with Thomas Caberlet on it. And they have the third worst power play percentage in the playoffs, and obviously the worst of the 4 remaining teams. So he has not done anything, and his blunders, his defensive blunders, have cost them goals. It's cost them a lot in the playoffs, and in this series especially. So I don't like what he does, but I don't think you can sit him because I don't know what else you have to put in his place.
That's the thing with me as well. I mean, ever since he arrived on the Bruins, he really hasn't done much of anything. He was supposed to improve the power play. He didn't improve the power play, you know? And that's kind of just what we got used to. And when you get to the playoffs, I'm a pretty firm believer that, you know, you dance with who brung you. And he was playing on our way to the playoffs. He got us there, and he's playing now. But the fact that you brought up, the fact that his mistakes have actually cost us goals. He's not just not producing, he's producing for the other teams. That's what makes me start to wonder if it would be better if he wasn't on the ice at all.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I have to agree with you that there's really not that much to put out there instead of him.
Right.
And like I said, dance with who brung you. Hope for the best.
My thinking, real quick, my thinking is that maybe just take away from his ice time a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, trim back the ice time a little and kind of let other guys get a few more minutes on the ice, because I mean, he can't be doing that. He can't be allowing plays like that in the playoffs. You need to step your game up, especially because Claude's system is so defensive. You need someone who's going to play defense and play well for you.
And I'm sure that we can expect Claude Julien to change his lines up when hell freezes over. So
exactly.
Any time now, we might see that move happen.
Yeah. I mean, Claude's not changing his lines up. So whether we want to see it or not, it's not going to happen.
Doesn't make a difference.
But moving on, a little more from the Bruins, and like we said earlier, Tyler Seguin all of a sudden burst onto the scene. And did he ever? Why don't you tell us a little bit about Tyler Seguin?
Well, as it turns out, Tyler Seguin showed up, and he showed up big at first.
Right.
He came out, and he just played out of his mind those first few games, the first 2 games of the playoffs. But unfortunately, after that, his production has slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
He had a stupid penalty the other night that just, I mean, I took it as a sign of him just not being as experienced as some of the other guys.
Right.
I mean, in the postseason, not a time for dumb penalties. Dumb penalties are what lose games in the postseason.
Yeah. And Thomas Caberlet.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, when you're striving for perfection, that's the kind of thing you can't have. So I do agree that Seguin is the future of this franchise. There's no question. I mean, he's great, and when he's on the ice, it adds an aspect of speed that you don't really have with the Bruins most of the time.
Agreed.
And it's something that's great to see. It's a change of pace. It brings a little bit of fire to the offensive attack, and it's enjoyable to watch, and it looks like that they really use him to get something going. At the same time, like I said before, it's the postseason.
Yeah.
It's, you know, at the very most, they're going to play maybe 9 more games.
Yeah.
At the very, very most.
Right.
It's not really, I don't want to sound like Claude here, but I don't think it's time to make a major change like that. And I'm not saying that I don't think Seguin is amazing, because he is. But I don't think that this point in the postseason, or this point in the season at all, is time to make a major change.
Well, I mean, we asked our fans about Seguin and if he's finally arrived. Kev gave us a little input and said that with Bergeron out, he got to show his speed and played with something to prove. So, I mean, he did do that, but he's played well. He hasn't made too many bad mistakes. I mean, obviously in the first couple of games he was amazing. He was great. But he's fallen off a little bit, and we're not seeing as much from him. But I still think he should be in the lineup. I think his speed is an asset and brings a lot to the team.
No, I agree with Kevin. He did. He proved that he can play, and I'm not sitting here saying that I don't want to see him on the ice at all.
Yeah.
But I think that inserting him into too many lines, having him on the ice too much, is as big as a mistake as not having him on there at all. I think that because of his lack of experience and because he is a young player and because he's still up and coming, he's not there yet. He's great, but he's not there yet. And he will get there. I think that Claude's doing the right thing with the little bit of balance he has going on now. I do think he proved himself. I do think he's great. I do think he deserves to play, but not at the level that some people think he should be on the ice right now.
But it was good to see, and finally finally a few people are getting off his back and they know getting what they expected from from Tyler Seguin. All right, so now let's jump back into Celtics mode. Probably for the last time for a while.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But we wanted to ask you guys what you thought about what the Celtics needed to do in the offseason. Because, Doc's here for 5 more years, so something must be up Danny's sleeve, and Doc must know. They have to be doing something.
Troy Murphy.
So, no, it's not Troy Murphy. But, yeah. So we asked our chat room fans, what do the Celtics need this offseason? And Kevin M. told us on our Sports Chat Facebook page, interior presence. And you know what, Kevin? You, my friend, are right. They gave away Kendrick Perkins, and I hate to be that guy that just keeps, harping on this, but they gave away a guy who, in the playoffs, he's averaged 28.2 minutes per game and just under 6 rebounds a game. That, other than Kevin Garnett, no other Celtics big man did that.
Yeah, you say that you hate to keep harping on it, but what else is there to talk about when it comes to the second half of the Celtics season?
Absolutely.
That's the entire story. Kendrick Perkins went, and so did our chances at the championship.
Yep.
So
he took Banner 18 with him.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And Kevin M., you're absolutely right. They need that inside presence, inside presence that they just gave away. They need to bring it back.
Shaq turned out at the end of the season. It's not his fault. He got hurt.
No.
And
he played 6 great minutes in the postseason.
You're rolling the dice with a 39-year-old, 7'2", 300 some odd pound guy. You're really rolling the dice, and you got what you could out of him. But when it came to playoff time, he was useless. Glenn Davis disappeared in the playoffs. Jermaine O'Neal was their best big man aside from KG, and he was only pulling down just over 4 rebounds a game. And KG is going to be 35 years old.
Yeah,
he can't shoulder the load down in the post by himself. And he's not a big guy. He's a great low post player, but
he's a great defensive anchor.
He's not going to be able to shoulder the load for you. You need someone else
he's not a big guy to begin with, and he's getting old, and we just really don't have anybody else down there to help him out too much, except, of course, Troy Murphy.
Right. Yeah, Troy Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I don't know what that hat did to you.
It was great.
That stupid green foam hat, whatever it was.
The crown of knowledge?
Yeah, sure. It was a crown of knowledge. Let's just get off this subject. Why don't you go into the Red Sox? I can't handle this anymore. This crown of knowledge.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
Anyway, the Red Sox have been doing great lately. And one of the biggest reasons the Red Sox have been doing great lately is Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So, before I give my opinion, we asked our fans, how good, how impressive has Adrian Gonzalez been? And on Facebook, our good old friend Johnny said,
Johnny Bananas.
Really good. And Johnny, you're right. Adrian Gonzalez has been insane in the month of May.
And that's fan input that you can't get anywhere else
but
here.
That's, that's knowledge that matches even ours.
Mm-hmm. Close. I wouldn't say matches.
No, matches close. You. Close
no,
to me.
Definitely doesn't match me. I'm well ahead. But anyways, go on. Yeah,
so,
Adrian's great.
He is great. In the month of May, he's been absolutely unbelievable. He's got 26 RBIs in the month of May.
It's quite a bit.
He's got 9 home runs in the month of May.
Yep.
And out of everyone in the American League with at least 30 at-bats, he has the 3rd best batting average in the month of May.
Can't argue with that.
You can't argue with any of it. I mean, he's been slapping the crap out of the ball is what he's been doing.
He's now leading the major with 41 RBIs on the season. I mean, and you know, everyone was kind of concerned about him hitting lefties. He's hitting .313 against lefties.
He's consistent as ever. He's batting .343 at home, .341 on the road. It doesn't get much more consistent than that. It's just he's playing out of his mind.
And this is what they got him for. Now we know why Theo Epstein was all about getting Adrian Gonzalez. He's proven that he is what Theo thought he was, and that he can be an anchor in this lineup for many seasons to come because he's still young and he's loaded with talent. He's just peppering the ball off the wall, and he spreads it to all fields. His swing is absolutely beautiful. His swing is tremendous.
And we talked about the immense amount of Red Sox success lately. It's a tongue twister. And he's
second week in a row we've had a tongue twister.
I know. He's been the biggest, he's been huge. He is the Red Sox success lately. I mean, he just is, he's the reason that we've been able to pull off 8 out of 10 wins, even though the pitching has been iffy.
Suspect.
Yeah, suspect. Good word. So, he's really good.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Nope.
Johnny Bananas hit it right on the head.
So thanks, Johnny.
All right, now it's Twitter chatter time. And I believe I am first with my tweet of the week, or my tweet for this show, and it's from Toucher and Rich. Good old morning show on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And Toucher and Rich tweeted for us a little bit on Kevin Durant and his series with the Mavs. They said, Kevin Durant and his Dora the Explorer backpack just got dirked. And, well, they have been getting dirked. Dirk Nowitzki has gone crazy these playoffs, and Kevin Durant's just the newest victim.
Yeah.
And I do like that he referenced his Dora the Explorer backpack, because that's become a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's backpack. And I have to say, seeing him after last night's game when they blew that, they had a 15-point lead and blew it, and then ended up losing to the Mavs. And Kevin Durant got to the podium and he was doing one of these with his backpack on. He kind of looked like a 12-year-old that just got detention and knew his mama was going to smack the hell out of him when he got home.
Yeah, I mean, he's not much older than that anyway.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
You add the Dora backpack, and all of a sudden he is a 12-year-old.
Yep. Can't argue with that.
Nope.
But
Great tweet.
I have a feeling that the Mavs are going all the way this year.
So do I. Mavs all the way.
And they're going to meet the Heat, and I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate the Heat being there, but whatever.
Well, as long as the Mavs beat them, it doesn't bother me.
That's true. Boom.
Ever since the Celtics have been eliminated, my theory is anybody but LeBron.
All right. I can agree with that.
I should make a shirt.
Yeah. I suppose.
So, anyway, my tweet this week, or this show, came from Kevin Guilfoyle, and he said that the best part about Macho Man Randy Savage is that he was already Randy Savage, and then he thought, I need more nickname. And I just thought that since we opened the show with a little Randy Savage tribute, we should close the show with a little Randy Savage tribute.
Moment of silence for the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all we've got for you for today. And we hate to bring it back to Randy Savage, but, you know, he was a great guy, great man.
And it's a great way to bring the show full circle.
So this one was for you, Randy, and you all know where you can reach us. You can find us on Facebook at Sports Chat. Just search Sports Chat. You can find us on Twitter at WA Sports Chat, or our personal Twitters at Brian_Mahler or at RJ Parmelo. And you can find us on YouTube. We'll have every episode there at WA Sports Chat.
And that is Sports Chat. And if you're not down with that,
Then we've got 2 words for you.
Sports Chat.
Or Macho Man Randy Savage.
It's more than 2.